No, can you let me know, are we streaming? I don't have control over YouTube.
It's live streaming now.
Perfect. Wonderful.
Yeah,
Then
we're
we
live
can
on YouTube now. Yes.
Okay. Welcome to everybody. Bonjour, bonsoir, good afternoon, and good evening from both France and from Malaysia. Today, we are very happy to be together for a signature ceremony of our two institutions around our blended MBA program. We're very happy to be joined by our esteemed colleagues, Dr. Prem Kumar and Dr. Harwinder Singh from Must, and as well a number of their colleagues, which you can see, but also from Kedge Business School, our Director General Alexandre Nevaille and our Deputy Director General Anil Benardande, as well as a number of our professors and colleagues, because this is a great moment for our two institutions as we are now expanding our activities into this part of the world. And so I have the joy of being the host of this ceremony, and so we will start by presenting both of our institutions, followed by the collaborations to come. And so I would like to invite Alexandre de Nevaille, the Director General of Kedge Business School, to open his video camera, and I will pass the slides.
All right. Thank you very much, Tashina. Good afternoon to all of you in Malaysia. Delighted to be connected with you. Of course, we would have preferred 1,000 times to be in presence with you. Unfortunately, the sanitary conditions in Europe are such that traveling is far from being easy. So we do it on video. It's a first, but I'm sure it's going to be a wonderful time together. I would like to start by saying how proud we are to be cooperating with you, or to be starting a new cooperation with you. And I have to say that Must is certainly very high on our partner list, if I can say it this way. And the name itself of Must is certainly, saying something. So very delighted to be starting that cooperation and partnership with all of you. I want to say thank you to the team, to the teams, I should say, of course, to the team on the Malaysian side, and all the support and the enthusiasm you've brought into this project, and of course to the team in France and my team. And I have to say, guys, you did a fantastic job, and that's wonderful. I want you to take maybe a few minutes, if you allow me, dear Mr. President, Mr. Dean, and CEO, to present you or to introduce what Kedge is. I've prepared, Tashina has prepared just a few slides, and Tashina, I will, let you probably pass the slides to introduce the school. And before I get there, maybe remind everybody a bit of the history, and I think it's truly important. So Kedge is a business school based out of France, and you'll see we also have interest outside of France, which is the result of the getting together, I have to say, more than a fusion of two schools that were based in Bordeaux and Marseille. I don't know whether you see on a map where Bordeaux and Marseille are. It's extremely important that there are two harbors in the south of France, one which is open to the Atlantic Ocean side, and the other one which is open to the Med. And historically, these two cities were also points of traveling and, of course, exporting the French savoir and savoir-faire, if I could say, and use these French words, outside of France, and from Bordeaux to Africa, and from Marseille to Middle East and Asia, right? And it's extremely important that we remind ourselves that we are from the south, and we are from Bordeaux and Marseille, at the same time as we are being now global and truly global and becoming more and more global, and certainly through partnerships like the one we're building now. The school is also fairly young when you talk about Kedge, because the Kedge brand has fully been, implemented about 8 years ago now. But the school is way older than that, actually. The two Bordeaux and Marseille schools are about 150 years old now. And they were opened by the Chambers of Commerce of Bordeaux and Marseille to train and educate youngsters from Bordeaux and Marseille who were either going to take over businesses from their families or build up their own businesses. And that was during the industrial, development of France at the end of the 19th century. So again, here there's something about who we are, and it's essential. If you could move on, maybe Tachina, to the next one. So since we've been, Kedge, a lot of things have been happening. We are triple accredited, AACSB, EQUIS, and AMBA. I think it's very important to remind ourselves that we are triple accredited, and the AMBA accreditation is fundamental to us, of course. There's been a lot of activities these past few years in terms of developing Kedge internationally. We've opened different programs and partnerships across the globe. We have acquired a partner we were working with already in Africa. We partly acquired them. They're based out of Dakar, now moving into Abidjan. We have interests in China as well, where we have two programs that are Franco-Chinese institutes on management and management of arts, of course, as well as our global MBA, which is based in France as well as in Shanghai. And we're now developing our programs like the blended MBA with partnerships. And I have to say, you are definitely one of the first ones we are, building the blended MBA with, and of course, high on the list of partners. Maybe you move on to say a few words about, some numbers. We've got about 15,000 students in the different, programs. We have 36 management programs. One peculiarity of Kedge is we also have a design school. And I should add here, we have a wine school as well. Very proud of it. About 200 permanent teachers, most of them being, by the way, doctors, and about half of them being international. We partner to close to 300 universities in the world, and we attach very high importance to the fact that they are accredited. Now, alumni base, as you see here, is big, right? We've got 70,000 alumni. We count on them. They are extremely active. There is more and more we are doing with them, and certainly a huge opportunity. And just from the business side, the Kedge turnover is about 120 million euros, so $1 million, make it, €1, $1, close to that. And we invest, about 10 million euros every year in the activity on facilities and IT and digital. We've just built a plan which has been approved by our board, whereby we want to continue developing our activities and business. And the idea being that we believe we can increase the size of the school by about a third in the next few years and continue to invest. And our plan is to invest about $50 million in, again, facility and IT capabilities as well as program development. Maybe one word, and it's not on the slides, about our promises, and it's very important that I remind ourselves about what our promises are. We've got three promises. The first one being that we are a school, and I think it's definitely important to remind ourselves that we are a school that claims to be original and sustainable as well as inclusive. So we are definitely, attaching a lot of importance to responding to the sustainable objectives as well of the United Nations, and attaching a lot of importance of being inclusive. Our second promise is that you as a student, whenever you come to Kedge, we take care of you and you will never be obsolete. So we believe that our role is not just to train, develop, and teach at the beginning of your career or before your career, but certainly all lifelong. So we believe in all lifelong education. And the MBA, of course, is a key demonstration of that claim. Our third promise, and I refer to what I just said earlier, we are embedded in our territories locally, Marseille and Bordeaux, as well as open to the world. And this openness to the world, again, is certainly something we are demonstrating with the signature of this partnership. Maybe you move on a bit, Tashina, to our programs. I won't spend much time here, but we've got undergraduate programs from bachelors. We've got 3 different kind of bachelors. A 3-year bachelor, we've got a 4-year international bachelor. We've got a master program, which is starting at the bachelor level, which is called the EBP, European Bachelor Program. We've got a master in management in Bordeaux and Marseille, which is what the school was built upon, I have to say. We've got some specialized program. You see here the design school. We've got a business engineering program in Toulon, which is on the south coast of France as well. We have accounting programs, higher diplomas in accounting as well, in order to be, at the higher certification level. We do have some specialized masters, so masters of science and specialized masters. And our key domain of excellence are around marketing, supply chain, wine, entrepreneurship, finance, and arts and creative industries, right? This is really what builds the specificity of Kedge. And of course, we have an education program, which is core to the school, which is in my mind a bit too small yet today. And we want to develop and accelerate our development in our exec program, and the MBA is at the center and the heart of it, of course. We've got a global MBA, and we are now developing this this blended MBA program as well. We've got masters in management and again general management programs as well, and we do a lot of ad hoc programs for businesses and companies who are willing to work with us. Just from a ranking standpoint, we look at rankings both on the French side and international. So just one word on the French side, we are being ranked between 8 and 10, depending on which magazines and journals you look at in business management school. And when you look internationally on the FT, our MBA is ranked 41. Right, and our masters in management is ranked 31 in Europe, so one of the best. And of course, we're very proud of these rankings, and we make them. We try to progress, but in the end, for me, more than the rankings, what matters is choosing Kedge for what we are and what we claim we are and want to be. And maybe just to conclude on research, because of course we are strong at teaching and pedagogy, but research is key in our programs and certainly in developing new pedagogy as well as shining outside of Kedge through the ecosystem around us. Our key domains and centers of research are around health management, creative industries, finance, but finance we consider. So it's finance from a sustainable standpoint, marketing, CSR, supply chain, and I finish with food, wine, and hospitality because it's the French touch to our research expertise, I have to say, which is developing extremely well. And finally, maybe one word on our pedagogy and what we believe, are the pillars to our pedagogy in all the programs we have at the school. Everything is centered around technology, humanities, and entrepreneurship. So we call it the model T in French because TEA is a THA in French, the drink. But in English, we call it maybe the model, which is a bit tricky to pronounce, of course. But certainly what we want is to ensure that all our students gain enough competencies in technology, humanities and entrepreneurship, to a point that all the programs we have provide, and if they don't all provide it today, they will in the future, this is our aim, provide certificates on these 3 pillars. And maybe one word on our international model, because it's fundamental to talk about Kedge as well internationally. So we do have a physical presence in China and Africa, as I was saying earlier, right? But we do also consider international from a home standpoint. So bringing some competencies at Kedge in France, and I'm talking about the faculty, I'm talking about the variety as well of the students we have in our student community, and of course this strong link to the partnerships we have globally. I was saying about 300 foreign universities have partners with us, and about 3/4 of them being accredited. And finally, I think this is here where our partnership comes in play as well, is exporting, if I could use that word, our French expertise in education. And the French education system has its own reputation, is known for excellence and for some very specific domains of expertise. And we want to be part of that, of course, and be able to export through the brand Kedge and our partnerships our knowledge. And you see here a few examples. I mean, some of these names are acronymed, but EASLI, for example, is our expertise in logistics, and we have some very well-known masters in logistics. MAI is international procurement. It's a master in international procurement. We have some strong competencies as well in sport and events. And of course, finally, the blended MBA, which we are now developing across the world. I'm very proud to be, again, partnering with you on that matter. And you see, again, 300 universities across the world, so really on all continents, half of them, a bit less than half of them being European. It would be way easier to have more in Europe, but we really want to ensure that we have the foot on every continent. You see here about 50 in Asia and 8 in Australia. And we want to continue to develop these partnerships, certainly outside of our European presence only. And I think that's it for me, Tashina, right? So
thank you very much.
Once again, very proud to be partnering with you today, and delighted to be able to meet, even if it's only on video and online, and organize that signing ceremony.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Alexander. So now I'm going to pass the microphone to our new partners in Malaysia. I believe it is Dr. Harwinder who is going to be presenting their activities, followed by their president, Dr. Prem Kumar, who will be wrapping up with their vision. So I will start. I will also be your slide master, so please don't hesitate to tell me to move forward when you'd like me to.
Sure. Thank you very much, indeed, Ishan.
Tashina, can you hear us?
We can hear you. You're good to go.
Yeah.
Okay. So we would like to actually express our delight and honor in being part of this signing ceremony. And actually what we saw just now is an amazing record of one of the best business schools in the world, we believe. And we are very honored today to be actually be able to be part of your family, your international family. So please allow me to just give you a brief introduction of our university. So I tried to be a little French on my opening slide by saying bonjour. So,
Merci.
yeah, I understand that. Thank you. Yes, I've started learning French now. Okay, so our university's heritage is actually quite noble in the sense that some 20 plus years ago, the then Prime Minister, Dr. Mahathir, wanted to set up a center of education in Malaysia, where he wanted this university to focus a lot on postgraduate education and a research center. And although in the initial years, we had a very close collaboration with MIT, after some time it fell upon our chairman, Tan Sri Effendi Nawawi. My next slide, please. Tan Sri Effendi Nawawi to actually carry the torch. And he has been carrying the torch for this university to keep it sustainable, as it were. And in terms of the university's growth, and in terms of the university actually coming to achieve its original objectives, I think those things started to happen about 6 years ago, when our president, Professor Prem Kumar Rajagopal, took over the reins of the university, and I think that was a game-changing point for the university. And that's Professor Dr. Prem Kumar Rajagopal. And so for all of our MBA partners and students who are listening to the live YouTube, you can say hello to your president as well. Yeah, and yeah, as you can see, Prof has also been a visiting professor to Kedge Business School, and it is that happy arrangement that has actually led in a great measure to the event that we are having today. Allow me also to introduce to you those people, the other people who are in our picture frame here. Of course, Professor Prem Kumar, now you know, sitting on his left flank is the provost of our university, Professor Selapan, who is not only the provost, but he's also the dean for our IT school. And sitting right behind me is our chief operating officer, Tuan Said, and he has joined us recently to drive the operational excellence of the university. My partner in trying to drive the MBA growth all over the world is Mr. Tangaturai, and he's our right arm, and he's going to continue to be a great support for our MBA programs, certainly also with Kedge Business School. And at the end of that row, we have Professor Kashaya, who is the head dean of the Institute of Postgraduate Studies, and he is now the proud owner of a fraternity of researchers of more than 200 people. So we have currently more than 200 people doing their PhD research with us. And we are moving towards that goal, which originally our Prime Minister had envisaged. Let me introduce some others to you in the next slide, please. So here you will see Professor Emeritus Prof. Barjoya Bardai. He is actually in the meeting online. So Prof, if you can just on your video so that everyone who is in this online discussion can take a look at you will be good. And next to him is Dr. David Bobker. Dr. David Bobker is also an advisor to Bank Negara, specialist in risk and statistics. Prof. Barjoya, just now I mentioned him. He's economic advisor to the government. Dr. David Bobker is currently in UK physically. Actually, he went to UK because, of course, that's his homeland. And thanks to COVID, he got an extended holiday there. So next to him, you see Professor Dr. Sureswaran. Prof. Sureswaran is one of the 4 people who founded Internet Protocol version 6, which is like the benchmark now for a lot of internet gateways and things like that. And at the end of the screen, we have Prof. Dr. Jeffrey Williams, who is also a very prolific writer in the local press and an expert in sustainable development, strategy, and indeed economics as well. So these are some of our team members. And you can see below there some of our industry partners. And I'm sure they are not as many as what we have with Kedge Business School, but we are very happy today in our collaboration with Kedge Business School because we are hoping that we will be part of a larger global community after today. If you can just
Next page, please.
next page, yeah. Thank you. There is a QS rating, as you might know. So in 2018, we managed to achieve 5-star rating for teaching and employability, which was again one of our, if you like, turning points and one of our hallmark achievements, because in Asia and ASEAN generally, these two are very, very important criteria for the market. They want good teaching and they want to be sure that they got a job at the end of the program. So we are happy to report that we managed to achieve this. We are in the assessment process right now, and we hope to be able to maintain this and get perhaps 5 stars in some of the other categories as well. Thank you. Please, next slide. Yes, so these are again the business partners which we talked about. I think we can move on to the next slide. Thank you. This university has 3 main schools. That is the School of Transport and Logistics. That is our flagship program, if you like, because Professor Prem Kumar, as you might well know, is one of the world authorities on supply chain, and he is an international speaker who has spoken on many forums. So that is our biggest school, Transport and Logistics, followed by IT and Business Management. And yours truly, I'm responsible for running the School of Business and Business Management. And you can see that we are very proud to include Kedge as part of our Business Management School already. So these are the 3 main schools that we have. We also have now forayed into Industry 4.0, systems engineering, and digital economy, which actually is another area which is being looked at with, by Professor Kashaya at this moment. Thank you. Please move on. We take pride in being the front runner in Malaysia for transport and logistics. This is true because we are one of the leading schools for transport and logistics in Malaysia. We also have become the center for Asia Logistics Supply Chain Council, and in fact, this Asia Logistics Supply Chain Council has been founded by the university and is housed within the university, and is a very good example of university to industry collaboration. So the council was set up to bring together the 3 different parts of the industry, that is industry players, government agencies, and the academia. And so although this has just been started a couple of years ago, we have started building a lot of good collaborations right from Rotterdam to Vietnam. Next slide, please. Our IT programs are also meeting the current digital needs. We're very happy to announce that we were the recipient of the IDU grant, which is the training arm of United Nations, of course. And we are also training partners with Daikin and Bosch. And we hope to bring forth certain innovations like robotic process automation, which is one of my areas of passion for improving business efficiency. Thank you. Next slide, please. We have just started our journey on AACSB. Just like Kedge is already Triple Crown, so we have just started our journey on this. And we are members, and we are currently undergoing the process of accreditation. Yes, and we look forward to stand with you with these accreditations and hopefully get some good advice from our peers and colleagues at Kedge Business School. Next, please. Uh, we have a recognition from the Chartered Management Institute of UK. So currently, the professional MBA program that we run is recognized by CMI. And when our students qualify, they qualify with this dual award, one from our university and one from the Chartered Management Institute. So they have the opportunity to become chartered managers. We have also been accredited by ASIC of UK as a premier institution, and we have also become members of the Blockchain Council in the United States of America. Next slide, please. The Institute of Postgraduate Studies, that is headed by Professor Kashaya, we have made a lot of progress in this in the last 6 years. And as I mentioned before, we have more than 200 active PhD students, and our programs are recognized by several governments around the world. We are hoping that with this collaboration, we will be your voice, not just in Malaysia, but also in ASEAN. Although you already have a very strong presence in China, I believe we will be able to represent you well in ASEAN and certainly in all these other countries whose badges that you see on the screen. Next, please. These are some of our international academic partners. In the Netherlands, we have the Rotterdam University. In Sri Lanka, we have the American College of Higher Education, the Korean Transport Institute, which is actually also known as Korea National Institute of Transportation, University of Transportation. We have our presence in China and India in a big way. And Multimix in Africa has been our partner, specializing in MBA in supply chain. And in Vietnam, we have collaboration with the MBA Institute. If you look at the corner of the screen, Globsin Business School, based in Kolkata, is our collaborative partner, and they are doing very well in India. They have many accreditations from within India, and we are happy to actually work with all these illustrious partners of ours. Next slide, please. And now, I almost broke into song, but this is Kedge. So I believe this would be our aspirations now for coming together for this collaborative arrangement. Three main things: to provide Asian markets good cross-border MBA program with global recognition. If you look at the Asian market now, the education market, especially at the master's level, MBA level, it's pretty much a red ocean. People are trying to cut cost. People are trying to give all kinds of packages to students so that they would register on the MBA program. But it is the vision of our president, Professor Prem Kumar, who says that if we want to differentiate, we must differentiate strongly and sincerely. So this is why we are bringing a world-class MBA to this part of the world. And we also want to offer, of course, to our students an exposure to the fascinating location of Bordeaux and perhaps Marseille as well. And of course, they will want to go to Paris and take all the beautiful pictures of the very famous locations there. But underlying all of this, beyond the MBA class, one of the important things that we hope we will be able to work with you here is to conduct research collaboration and joint seminars for industry immersion. If you saw on our first slide, we said we are from the industry and we are for the industry. Most of our faculty are industry-driven people. Prof. Prem himself has spent several years in Intel and other global corporate sector. So we are from the industry and we hope to be for the industry through our collaboration and MBA program. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Dr.
Thank you.
for this
Yes.
presentation of Must and sharing these aspirations with us. We are also very happy to be welcoming you into our global partner network. I know that Dr. Premkumar would also, President Premkumar in this situation, like to say a few words on how he sees the pathway forward. So I'm going to pass the microphone to him.
Thank you, Tashina. Our respected Director General Alexandra, Honorable Anil Bernard, Deputy Director General, my friend Professor Harvey, Professor Mike, Professor Terry, and Terry Provin. Thank you very much for giving us this opportunity to join work with Kedge Business School. I've been with Kedge Business School long way, starting from 2005. I've seen the progress of Kedge Business School from BAM and now Kedge. So the time has come to build the synergy between Kedge and the Malaysia University of Science and Technology. So with the help of my friend, Professor Cherry Rock, and the rest of you, I think today is becoming a reality. As Dr. Harvey has shared the background of Malaysia University of Science and Technology and what we are and what we do. Now let us look at now with this collaboration with Kedge Business School, what do we want to achieve? So I would call it as the evolution. We want to evolve, yeah, together with Kedge. We look at Kedge Business School as to be our big brother, who's got a vast experience in academic, way back 1800. Yeah. So we got a lot to learn from Kedge Business School. So the first thing we are looking at Kedge is the initial stage or the initial step is dual and double degree. And now we are working on the London MBA, which is going to be a transnational MBA. And we will eventually brand it as Euro-Asia MBA. That's the first step. The second one is to establish a scientific exchange between Kedge Business School and Malaysia University of Science and Technology. So we want to break the silos of scientific disciplines of IT, logistics, business, medical, healthcare, and so on. And we want to become a truly cross-disciplinary university. So in order to move to that, we need a very strong partner. As I can see that Kedge Business School also have the School of Design, School of Engineering. So I believe this is the best time for us to work towards the direction of cross-discipline university. Third, we are looking at research and discovery. There are a lot of students doing research with us. Today we have got about 200 students doing PhD program with us. And most of the students are inspiring students looking forward for learning with the research intensive environment, and developing research leadership and creativity. So we want to support that initiative, and not only for students but also for faculty members, which eventually our goal is 100% faculty holding PhD by the year 2025. Today we have got about 60% of faculty members are PhD holders. But moving forward, by 2025, we look at about 100% faculty members in the university having PhD. And finally, we talk about internationalization of education, globalization of education. So finally, with Kedge Business School, we want to be truly a global university, not just a local player or not just a regional player, but to be a global player in the higher education arena, with focus on global understandable outcomes. The outcomes that we are designing for our programs, not just only to cater or tailor to the local or the national needs, but also to the global needs. And a lifelong engagement with our learners, who are currently our students, full-time students, part-time students, working adults, professional, industry professional players, yeah, who engage with us, or short-term programs. So this is our aspiration. Again, we want to evolve with the support and guidance from our big brother, that is Kedge Business School, whom I always admire for the Triple Crown accreditation, the AMBA, AACSB, and EQUIS. Thank you, Dashina. Back to you.
Thank you, Dr. Prem Kumar. And maybe soon it will be you as well. And maybe it's a big sister school, as a joke. I would like to, just before moving forward, give an opportunity to our Director General Alexandre Navaille and his deputy to also say a few words on how they see as well this evolution with MUST in our activities. Alexandre, would you like to wrap?
Yes, certainly. And I have to say, thank you very much, because everything which has just been said, I fully subscribe to, and is exactly the same direction as what Kedge wants to take. So you start from somewhere, you plant a small seed, and then you make it grow, and it becomes a huge tree, right? And we need certainly to see these partnership around the MBA as being this seed that we plant. And that will develop then further cooperation. And when I see, talking about research and discovery, the fact that we have common interest, and you say that your flagship is transport and logistics. Well, what we are strong at and what we are known for and what our professors are known for is also our expertise in transport and logistics. And that's probably, why we're here together as well today. And certainly we should be becoming the expert in transport and logistics globally. So when I see, starting from the MBA, then research discovery, working together on the faculty and becoming truly global, there are certainly some common interest in becoming truly global. And I can only say, I'm here for that, and count on me, because together we'll do it, right? And maybe Anil, our Deputy General Manager, wants to say something, right?
Yeah, thank you very much for this presentation and your vision. And we share a lot, in fact, as Alexandre said. We share on the cross-disciplinary, that is key. We are talking about supply chain, but supply chain without CSR and without the sustainable impact of the supply chain is not the global vision of the supply chain. Supply chain without the information technology and the IoT is not the vision of tomorrow's supply chain. So the ability to join all those expertise in order to create real value on the supply chain is key. And I think that together we have all those expertise. And the second point that I want to focus on is the lifelong engagement with learners. For us, is a key challenge of the future. The obsolescence of the competence is accelerating. So as universities or business schools, we will have to find new solutions to make it happen, and to stay and to find solutions for our students to be, and learners and professionals, in fact, to be up to date with their competencies. And I think that on this challenge, we can really work together to create new solutions, because nowadays there is no global solutions to do that. And if we want together to have an impact on the industry for the future, I think that here we can really create together new solutions and be innovative and totally different on the market.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anil. So I'm hearing for industry by industry, many things that we share, and the vision that we will be moving forward with. And before we get to the signature, I thought it'd be actually interesting for those who are participating to know a little bit about what we're actually signing. What is the program that we are going to be developing together over the coming years? And I'd like to invite Professor Hervé Romeau, who is in charge of our MBA programs at Kedge, to say a few words about the Global MBA and this online blended program.
Thank you very much, Tashina. Could you confirm that you can hear me well?
We can hear you.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Dear colleagues, it's a pleasure for me to introduce you to the blended MBA. Obviously, Bram, we already discussed about it, but for all of you who are watching us on YouTube, just to give you a couple of words about it. First of all, I would say that the blended MBA has been designed with 20 years of experience with a global MBA in China as well as the executive MBA in France. So meaning that we add the convenience of a blended format, the convenience and the flexibility of the online format, to the rigor of the content that has been developed over 20 years. So I would say that more than the accreditation themselves, you know that we are accredited by the Association of MBAs, which is very important for us because they very much audit what we are doing from a content perspective and from a delivery perspective. But what is very important to me is the recognition from the market. And it could be very much translated with the ranking that we achieved over the years in the best executive MBA worldwide of the Financial Times. And so this recognition of the market is mostly based on what the alumni do respond and do tell about the executive MBA. So yes, the blended MBA has been built on that background, on the experience that we had with those programs in China and in France. And so it will bring to the Malaysian market and nearby, I would say, that kind of very much international perspective and international experience. So it's not only a European-based kind of a blended MBA or I would say a perception. It's not only a China-based, also blended MBA that we will offer, but it's a French, China, Malaysian perspective that will be brought together in order to design this blended MBA. So I'm very proud of it because we will bring one part on the table and Malaysia and Must will bring the other part with the experiential experience and the on-site seminars that we will generate. And I would like also to mention a third party, which is cross-knowledge. So the MBA and blended MBA program will be delivered in association with cross-knowledge, giving us a very up-to-date learning platform experience in order for the participants of the blended MBA in Malaysia, as well as with the other partners, I will get back to it, a very good experience of what they can get from a learning experience. So it was important for me to recognize those aspects. Second, why we do want to achieve as part of this collaboration. So obviously for us, and I will start, maybe it's not very polite, but I will start that way. For us, for Kedge, it gives us an opportunity to extend the number of collaboration and partner, and so therefore to, I would say, to enter the Malaysian market. I'm very pleased that we can make it with Must. So that's one aspect. But clearly, I mean, this collaboration will extend the number of partners, and therefore will extend the opportunity for the participant to meet together at some stage. That's also our objective for us. At some stage, for the Malaysian participant to meet maybe the African participant, maybe the Chinese participant, maybe the French participant, and that's important to grow the international network of all of them. Then, of course, as part of this collaboration, I'm very honored, and for Kedge side, to contribute to the development of the Malaysian economy and society, although it's a very small scale, but through this blended MBA, we will train executives who will play a role in the future in Malaysia and abroad. So I'm very proud that we can contribute to that economic and societal development. That's important. And then, of course, it will give an opportunity for the blended MBA participant to join one seminar that we could organize in France. So we will open the door to Kedge Business School. So you mentioned Bordeaux, but as you know, you will be more than welcome in Marseille or in Paris, where we are based at the moment. And so, yes, clearly that will give you an opportunity to your participant and to your student to better understand and discover, for those who never visited France, to know more about the French culture and to learn something from it. And then, maybe to conclude, because I don't want to take that much time on that floor, it will be much more on a personal note. it happens that I used to teach for a couple of years in Kuala Lumpur when I was working in Australia. And so clearly, I mean, this blended MBA will give me an opportunity to visit you and to get back to Kuala Lumpur, which is a very nice city to visit. So I look forward to start this new intake sooner than later. I look forward to meeting you also face-to-face sooner than later. And I'm sure that we will deliver a great program for great participants. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Hervé. So now I'm going to take off the PowerPoint, our presentation, and I'm going to invite both Alexander and Prem to open their documents and proceed to the signing of our agreement. Now, as we did this, as we said, we are connected in about 5 or 6 different cities around the world today, and we are going to be able to sign.
Yes, yes. Please.
All right.
Sorry,
Alexander,
I
your
couldn't remember.
microphone's off. There you go.
Yeah, no, I'm here.
Thank you. You can sign.
So I don't know. I'm probably gonna move a bit my camera so that you guys can see that I'm signing it. Indeed.
That is wonderful.
Sign one part.
Wonderful.
That is wonderful on both sides.
Yes.
All right.
It is official. We are now partners. Welcome.
So
to
now
this.
I only hope that you guys can come over to France and of course in Bordeaux, because you're willing to be coming to Bordeaux, where we welcome you, as well as Paris and Marseille. And I want to come and meet you as well in Kuala Lumpur. So as soon as I can, I'll travel by and of course we'll meet for real and shake hands, because at distance it's a bit difficult.
Yes,
We welcome you, certainly.
Selamat datang. Welcome.
Thank you.
I'd like to
Thank you.
invite everybody to turn their cameras on for a group picture, because if we were together, we'd all be standing together shaking hands, right? And so this will be our virtual handshake. So everybody who is connected, you're very welcome to put your videos on. I see Michel Gutsat, who is with us, who helped us develop this partnership. Thierry Provin, who is in charge of following our Asian partnerships. Sandrine Rognon, who is going to help coordinate all the program with you in the future. And I see a few more, the professors from Must who joined us, everybody, and Thierry Roch, our esteemed professor, who actually introduced us, n'est-ce pas, as we say in French, with Prim. So everybody's more than willing. Oh, okay. And so everybody who has webcams, have them on. We're going to take a little.
Rob Jack, please on your camera. Maybe can you?
Are you good, Tashina?
Can you
I'm doing it. There's still 2 cameras that were off, and so I was waiting for them to turn them on. Let me just readjust.
Okay,
Teams
let's
is
go.
collaborating. That's perfect.
That's perfect. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, wonderful. I'm going to say in English we say cheese, but in French we can say santé, good health to everyone in this terrible time, and a nice, beautiful smile.
Yes. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Rob Jack, they are there. Yep, joining us. Yep. Rob Jack, hi, Rob Jack.
All right. Have a wonderful afternoon and evening to everyone.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
À bientôt.
Thank you.
Thank you, bye.
See you soon.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right.
Bye.